all the Transformers were gay. Yes. All of them. Find me in the comments, I don't care. One of the most enduring cartoons to come out of the 1980s is the Transformers. And unlike a lot of its contemporaries, which have been rebooted time and again without ever really capturing that classic 1980s magic, Transformers has not only survived, it's thrived. It has transformed, if you will, from the classic 80s G1 lineup to Beast Wars, Rescue Bots, Cyberverse, Prime, and of course the 7 live-action movies, one of which was actually good. But through all of that, there is a truth universally unacknowledged. The Transformers are gay. But they're robots. Now I can already hear the comments typing, but Nick, they're robots. They don't reproduce sexually. Surely they're asexual or non-binary or beyond gender. I don't know why I did the weird accent. I don't know where I was going with that. Excellent points. You all make excellent points. Counterpoint? No. First of all, yes. Logically, robots would not have gender. But this show was not logical. It was the 80s. Come on. It is Transformers. Trans. From the very first episode, both Autobots and Decepticons exclusively use he, him pronouns. No they, no neutrality, no experimentation. They're not genderless beings. They are boybots. So they're not non-binary in the text of the show. Asexual? Maybe. Now, asexual is actually the strongest counter-argument, and honestly, fair. If you want to read all the Transformers as ace, that's valid and kind of iconic representation, especially for the 80s. No women. None. Zero. Zip. Now let's rewind to the beginning. The original Transformers cartoon existed for one reason and one reason only: to sell cool Japanese robot toys to young boys. And because this was the 1980s, they did what the 80s did best. They created a roster of buff, tough, emotionally intense, take-no-shit characters, and included exactly 0 women. None. For the entire original run. Just dudes. And canonically, for millions of years. Yes, Arcee was introduced in the movie in '86, but let's be honest, she is the tokenest of token female characters ever to be introduced. And when I originally recorded this video, I firmly believed, like most casual and even serious fans of the 1980s show, that for 4 million years of Transformers canon, Cybertron was a planet populated entirely by male-coded robots. However, I have since stumbled upon an episode in Season 2 titled The Search for Alpha Trion, which centers on a band of female Autobots still fighting the good fight on Cybertron. How did this particular piece of media get past me? In all my years as an awkward gay nerdy child in the 80s, this episode never surfaced, and there was no mention of any of these characters before or since. I kind of feel bad for passing judgment. But this also kind of proves my point even further. So in the episode, a number of characters remarked that they believed female Autobots were extinct.
Female Autobots. I thought they were extinct.
They obviously hadn't seen one in millions of years, since Optimus Prime and his gang had been dormant on Earth for 4 million years before the show even picks up. And while there is some sweet romantic suggestion between Optimus and Elita 1, the other Autobots treat these characters as plucky little sisters or best girlfriends that they spend a lot of time with. As in girlfriends, not girlfriends. They're carried on with life and adventure without a second thought that the females of their species had been supposedly completely wiped out and completely forgotten. They clearly were not fussed about the lack of women. And the fact that there actually were women at some point and they still didn't care? That screams gay. So what were they doing? So this raises an obvious question. There is a huge stretch of time between the Transformers overthrowing their creators, the Quintessons, and the Great War between the Autobots and the Decepticons. That's millions of years of peace. So what were they up to? I'm just saying. That's a whole lot of time to be hanging out exclusively with the boys. But it's a kids show! Now, to be clear, there was never going to be an openly gay moment in an 80s cartoon designed to sell toys. Absolutely not. We know that. But here's the thing. In order for the Autobots to work as heroes, in order for Optimus Prime to be noble, caring, and worth following, there has to be love. Not romance necessarily, but deep emotional attachment. Loyalty, devotion, grief, sacrifice. I mean, come on, do you remember the movie? Optimus heroically gave his life to save his fellow Autobots and got blasted in the chest protecting Hot Rod. That's love. And if you're even slightly inclined to read queerness into media, congratulations, you're on the right channel. Those moments read as secretly, sweetly gay. Starscream, the gayest robot ever created. Starscream is not ambitious in a normal way. Starscream is jealous. He craves Megatron's attention. He reacts emotionally to rejection. He throws tantrums when ignored. Starscream doesn't want the throne. He kind of does, but he wants Megatron to look at him on the throne. And Megatron, for his part, treats Starscream with a level of cruelty that feels personal. And congratulations, you've stumbled onto the most toxic situationship on Cybertron. The Autobots as a queer found family. The Autobots don't behave like a traditional military unit. They're not the same vibe as G.I. Joe. They behave like a chosen family. Optimus leads through compassion and not dominance. Autobots openly express fear, grief, worries, and a loyalty to one another. They sacrifice themselves for individual Autobots and not abstract ideas of USA or Go Joe. Just the bonds between these men, bots. The bonds between these bots? Found family is one of the most consistent queer tropes in storytelling, especially when biological family and traditional structures are absent, which they very much are here. The 1986 movie, Men Crying for Men. And just to go back to the Transformers movie for a moment, in it, Optimus Prime dies. Spoilers for a 40-year-old movie. And the Autobots don't just react, they collapse. They openly weep, they grieve. The camera lingers on male characters mourning another male character. This was 1986. Straight action cartoons did not do this. Go and look for one, I'll wait. So were they intentionally gay? No, probably not. But intent doesn't matter nearly as much as context. What we have is an all-male society, emotionally intense relationships between men, obsession, grief, loyalty, devotion, camp villains, theatrical monologues, dramatic betrayals, which means, whether or not Hasbro planned it, Cybertron is the gayest planet in 1980s television. So, no, I'm not saying the Transformers were having robot sex just off screen. I'm also not saying that. What I am saying is that Gen 1 Transformers told stories about love, loss, devotion, and obsession in a world entirely without women. And when you do that, things get gay. All the Transformers were gay. Thank you for watching my video. Find me in the comments below and let me know what other 80s cartoons were as gay as Transformers. I cannot think of one, but if you do, you'll impress me. Like and subscribe for more gay geek content.